Hello, listeners. This is Tom from Tom and Elliot in Your House, Not Literally, speaking on behalf of Tom and Elliot, doing the intro for Tom and Elliot in Your House, but not literally. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. I'm Elliot from the title, Tom and Elliot in Your House, but not literally.
Thanks, Elliot.
You're welcome. Play the jingle!
Tom and Elliot in your house. Tom and Elliot in your house. Tom and Elliot in your house.
This is what this show has turned into. It's just turned into like a hot mess of just us.
Yeah,
instead
I
of
feel
no
like
real structure.
I feel like a hot mess is what this show was always going to become.
Yeah, it was.
'Cause
I think, yeah.
If you look at the thumbnail, I mean, whatever you're watching on, you'll be able to see the thumbnail, but the thumbnail for our show is us at our most hot mess, you know?
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? The SRA Awards.
It's from the SRA
Awards.
Awards.
That's a great series of photos. We have like a collection of those.
Yeah, I feel like it's our signature look, you know?
My favourite one is where you're dressed up as like a second-hand Gandalf, and I'm dressed in. I think I have like one of those massive furry coats on that Macklemore talks in thrift shop.
Yeah,
and a Santa hat.
Yeah. So for that, it was a Lord of the Rings themed social, and I dressed up as Gandalf. But I didn't get a costume together until literally the day of the social. Not even the day, the afternoon of the social. I was getting it ready like 20 minutes before I was supposed to be at the Hobbit. So I found a dressing gown, my roommate's dressing gown. There was a witch's hat in our house from a Halloween. I was actually scouring the house for anything I could find. And I was like, this is excellent. What else like embodies Gandalf? There, I needed a staff, so I grabbed the house's mop, and that mop acted as my staff. And then I needed a beard, but I couldn't think what to make a beard out of. And like it had to be a Gandalf big bushy beard. Which actually, thinking about it, does Gandalf have a beard? Yeah,
he's got like one of the lengthy ones.
Yes,
goes down to his midriff.
So I was gonna draw on a beard, but that's not a Gandalf beard. So what I did was I got a bunch of cotton pads from my flatmate, and then I got some sellotape, and I basically sellotaped all of these cotton pads together to make a beard, and then twisted the sellotape so it became like a string, and then used that to tie the beard onto my face.
That's ingenious.
I
remember being impressed when you told me for the first time, but I'm just even more impressed now. Like the things you can do when you put your mind to it.
Thank you.
Not one as a person, but you, Elliot, yourself.
Thank you. I do like to think of myself as a creative genius, really. That's what this is.
Nothing short.
What would you say your proudest creative MacGyver achievement is?
Are we talking like actual creative wisdom?
No, I'm talking like
like
MacGyver. So like,
oh, that's what you meant by MacGyver. I thought you were being serious with that. I don't know that reference.
Oh, MacGyver's like he's a hero, and he always like makes things out of other. So he'll make like a bomb out of sellotape and a tea bag or something. You know,
like DIY sort of genius. I don't know actually. I don't really get hands-on with DIY. I'm pretty sure I have. Cause thinking about it, there have been moments in my life where I've gone, that's genius. What you've done there is incredible. It was when I was on my crutches.
Yeah.
What did I do? Yeah, because my gran was looking after both my parents were working, so my gran came down to look after me, and my gran being my gran, obviously couldn't look after me as much as my parents could. So I had to do some sort of things for myself. So I attached different utensils onto my crutches. So from my sofa where I was pretty much restricted to, I could like reach over with an extra arm and grab things off of a table. It was great. So that was probably
That's good. That's good. I like that. Because when you first said utensils, I imagined like knife and fork. And I was like, Tom, I think you're making this more difficult. I think you're making this more difficult for yourself. Like reaching all the way through, like
It's right with people. I don't know if there's a condition with people who have like super long arms that become the length of crutches, and that's a real life problem.
Super long arm syndrome. I've never heard of it before, but that's not to say it doesn't exist.
Super army. So have you seen Extras?
Yes.
Yeah, when Ross Kemp's like, do you know what the SES really stands for? Super Army Soldiers.
Oh, I love that show so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when Patrick Stewart is like, oh no, Ian McKellen, sorry.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen, he's well, you know, when Peter Jackson asked me to be a wizard, I'm not a wizard. So what I did was I pretended to be a wizard, you see.
He's like, I don't know what to say. Well, it was written down on a script for me. Oh, perfect.
And Daniel Radcliffe with the condom.
Oh, the Daniel Radcliffe one is so good. Me and my dad watched the entire. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, no,
Come on.
No,
that was so disappointing.
Where was I? Oh, I'm not like that post mid sneeze haze. Like
you and your dad watched it.
Yeah. Me and my dad watched both series of Extras over lockdown, and we loved it. The Daniel Radcliffe and when Ricky Gervais pretends that when his childhood father was Father Michael O'Flatley. I think that was a highlight moment.
And Kate Winslet playing a nun.
Oh yeah,
as Oscar bait, and then literally like 2 years after that was filmed, she won an Oscar for playing a nun in a Nazi war film.
Wow. You can't make this stuff up, man.
You cannot make this stuff up. Oh yeah, back to the MacGyvering things. I don't know if it counts as MacGyver or just being lazy, but I was very pleased with my costume for a Roaring Twenties themed social. Right, so like now we're in 2020, people are having like Roaring Twenties themed socials, so like Great Gatsby and dressing up in glitz and glam and suits.
Yeah,
and I didn't have a costume ready, but I did have a tiger hat. So I put the tiger hat on and just came dressed as myself, because then I was roaring because I was a lion, and I am 21, so I am in my 20s. So I was the Roaring Twenties. And I remember walking to that social being like, I'm fucking hilarious. This is so good. This is peak fucking comedy. And I show up and no one laughed. Literally no one. And
I think I remember looking at you and being like, something's gone wrong here.
And like every new person that showed up and came to say hi, I would go over and I'd be like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, no, did you get it? I'm roaring, pointing at my head, and they go 20s, and I point at like my ID, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I think
the fact that you have to explain it just shows that the joke is not worth.
But it was like because everyone's reaction was the same. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, well done.
It's the surprise and then instant disappointment.
Yeah.
No, I did that. I remember I had that huge fluffy jacket I was talking about. Like the Macklemore one. I think that because that was the only piece of fancy dress that I came to uni with in first year.
Yeah.
So I had to somehow adapt it to every social we went on. I think there was there was a game of actually no, it wasn't. It was dress as something that begins with the start of your name.
Yeah, I remember you saying. I remember this. I think that was the first time I met you.
I think it was. That was that Surge social.
Yeah.
Surge Radio, where it all began. But no, yeah, I think it was dress to start, and I think because it's like this big body length, massive fur jacket, but it's synthetic. It's synthetic, so it's not real fur. Don't worry.
Yeah,
don't worry. Yeah, I put that on, and I was like, "What begins with T?" And also
has a big foot.
Exactly, I could have gone to a thrift shop.
Oh yeah,
that would have been good. I think Russian Tsar was the one I went for.
You told me you were Tom Hardy in The Revenant.
Oh, yeah. How do you remember that? Do you remember me telling you that on the night?
Yeah, because I remember you being like, yeah, I'm Tom Hardy for The Revenant. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you were like, later on in the night, you were like, yeah, no, that's not what this is. I just... I only have one bit of fancy dress. And I was like,
I think I changed character multiple times that night.
But I went to that party as an emo.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry about that. My audio was disrupted and my recording was cut dead because I received a call on my phone from Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs.
Wow.
Very nice of them to call today. So apparently there's a tax fraud case in my name. I've been committing tax fraud. Yeah.
Got to be careful about that, Elliot. You've got to be careful about that.
No, you really do. That's why I paid such close attention when they asked me to give them all of their money. Give them all of my money. Fucking twat.
I was thinking that because literally like the disrespect you handed out when you hung up, you're like, no, and then just threw your phone away.
Yeah, I don't have time for prank callers. Not prank callers, fraud callers. Have you seen on YouTube there are videos of guys like hassling prank callers? So like when they get a prank call.
Oh yeah, I see like Joe Lycett does it a lot on email.
Yeah, so this is like next level. So basically it's this one guy and I can't remember his name. There's a whole like community of them on YouTube. The videos are like 8 hours long because they'll stay on the phone with these guys for like 8 hours to waste their time. And they do it all on stream as well. They stream it on Twitch. And there's this one guy and he's a voice actor.
Yeah.
So he calls these guys, or he gets calls from these guys, and he then puts on like this old woman's voice. And he's like, "Oh, hello there. How are you? Oh no, there's a virus on my computer." And like this guy from a call center in India who's trying to scam them, and it's because they try and scam old people because they know that it's easy for. And he basically is like taking so long doing all of this stuff, and it's like, oh, it's so fun. And so in some of them, he just wastes their time for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
In some of them, so one of the scams they do is they're like, okay, well, you've got to buy these Target gift cards, and then you've got to and then scratch off the backs and send me the codes, and that's how you pay off this debt that's happened in your name, right?
Yeah.
With Target gift cards, I guess.
With Target, yeah, of course.
With Target gift cards, of course. Yeah. And so he has this whole like setup on his computer, so he never leaves his room. But they're like, okay, now you got to go to Target, and so he then like is playing all these sound effects of him leaving the house, and then he'll get in the car, and then he'll be like, oh no, I think I left the stove on. And then he like gets out of the car, goes back inside, is like, oh, I didn't leave the stove on. I've not even used the stove today. And he goes back in the car and then drives to Target for like 40 minutes. And then there's bits where he's like pretending to have road rage, and like times when he pretends that like he's crashed the car, and the guy on the phone's like, no, it's okay, you can just do the insurance thing later, whatever, like I don't care, just you've got to go to Target now, because he's like trying to push her to do this, and he's like and they get so pissed off.
You can imagine.
And so Target now, and like all of these companies, if you're buying, because they get you to buy like $2,000 worth of gift cards at once. Yeah. So obviously, if someone's buying that much gift cards at once, they're like, okay, it's probably a scam. We're going to just check that they know what's going on.
Yeah.
And the guy on the phone is like, look, okay, when Target asks you who you're buying them for, just say you're buying them for your grandson. It's for his birthday. And he's like, oh, but I'm not buying them for my grandson. I'm buying them for you, aren't I? And he's like, yeah, no, I know, but he won't understand that. So you have to say it's for your grandson. Oh, but I don't feel comfortable lying. And then he does the voice of the Target guy as well. So he's having a conversation with himself, being like, madam, who are you? Who's on the? Is there someone on the phone? Are you talking? And he'll be there being like, oh. He's asking for you. Do I say that you're here? No, don't say I'm here. So, Mum, are you talking into that phone? No, I'm not doing anything. It's so good, man.
The talent that some people have to devote 8 hours of their day to make up like a whole separate world from their room where they've gone into Target and then like talking with another employee. Yeah, just to waste the time of some scammer.
Honestly, it's so worth your time. And he cuts it down, like he cuts like an 8 hour long scam into like 40 minutes, right? Just so it's the best bits. But it's so funny and it's so clever, and it's like That's a good thing, you know, because you're seeing scammers who are trying to scam old people. But there was one video where he gets all these gift cards, and then he comes back to his house. So he actually spends $2,000 on Target gift cards.
He actually pays $2,000 for it.
Yeah, because he pays $2,000 for the cards, takes them back to his house, then he gets back on his computer, and the way that they do it is they make them install an app which allows the scammers to watch the computer screen, and then they can like instruct them which account to pay it into.
Oh, okay.
And the guy's on the phone. He's watching the screen. He's like, "Okay, can you read me out the Target gift cards?" And she's like, "Oh no, don't you worry about that. I'll put them in for you, and then I can buy you the things that you want." And then he starts putting in the codes himself, and this scammer is there like, no, stop it. I need that money. You can't. And she's like, oh, and he gets like a paddling pool and like some socks. And she's like, okay, I've bought it. Now where do I send it to? And this scammer's like, fuck.
Oh my God.
Oh, they get so pissed off sometimes. There was one video where he has two scammers on the line at the same time.
People do that with like delivery drivers as well, don't they?
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, give it a watch. And when he's doing it on Twitch, you know, speedrunners?
Yeah.
How at the top they have like how long it takes them to do each section.
Yeah, like a checklist for each section.
So he has like an opposite
go.
checklist and like how he can do it, like how long he can keep them on the phone for. So instead of like how fast they get through a section, it's how slow he gets through a section. And it's like, gets them on the computer, goes to Target, buys the cards, like sends them to him, like all of this, and sees how long he can stretch it out for.
What's the name of the channel? Probably if you type in just like...
Yeah, I can't remember. It'll probably be something like, wasting scammers' time, something like that. And there's another guy who does it. He doesn't do the voice acting, but he is instead he's a hacker. So by letting the people onto his computer, he can get into their computer, and then he shuts down their computer, and the calls like cut out, or like because they're calling. He's then like, oh, would you mind just going back on your computer and checking like if this file's still there? And he goes and there's nothing on their computer. He's like wiped all of their software.
Oh my God.
Wasting scammers' time, something like that.
Is it? I've got Trilogy Media up here.
Oh, it's Kit Boga. That's his name. KITBOGA.
Kit Boga.
And
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, so there's one video where he has 4 scammers on the line for 36 hours.
36.
It's incredible.
He stays up for the whole thing.
I imagine, but he streams it all.
That's incredible.
Pretty cool, right?
I want to do that. It makes me want to start something like that. Maybe not. I probably won't be as good, but
he's a good guy.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. But he's doing like a voice acting, all of those different characters as well. Damn.
It's so impressive watching him switch like that. Yeah. And he has a green screen behind him, so when he's in different places, he puts up so when he's in the car, he puts up a car background, and when he's in because they're not watching, but it's for the streamers.
Oh, this looks so good. Oh, this is just another dark hole of YouTube I'm going to go down. I've really got into like I've been playing a bunch of like Farming Simulator. And I've been really getting into like Farming Simulator time lapses.
Okay.
And I just watch them for like an hour or two in a row. And there's just these people playing Farming Simulator, but they time lapsed it, so it's just so much better.
That's great. I've still not played Farming Simulator.
Oh, it's so good, man. You can't even. I don't even know what it is about the game that's just so satisfying, but it hits the spot.
I get it though. Like Euro Truck Simulator, I used to play a lot.
Oh, Euro Truck Sim's great.
Because that's great. Speaking of YouTube dark holes, I mean, it's not even a dark hole, it's a wonderful hole, is marble racing.
That's what she said. Yes, I'm watching that.
I love marble racing. I got into it about a year ago, and then I forgot about it. And then when lockdown started again, I showed Jenny, and we basically went through and watched like 3 or 4 years worth of Marble Olympics and marble racing and the rallies. And then at the time we started watching the Marbula One started.
Marbula One, yeah.
And we both have our own teams that we root for.
Oh, who's your team?
Jenny's team is the Raspberry Racers, and I am a Hazer. Okay. So Jenny's team won the 2019 Marble Olympics, which was pretty big. Wow. I came third, which I was pleased with, but the Green Ducks came... Huh?
That's a good finish.
It's a good finish, but I was just pissed off that we lost to the Green Ducks, because the whole season we were like just pipping the Green Ducks, and then just in the last few events they just got it, and it was very disappointing. But Jenny was pleased because she won.
Aren't they like sponsored by some big American network now?
Yeah, so basically because the Marbula One finished about a month ago, And then the only thing on the channel was like, in the end of June, there's going to be Marble Olympics 2020, or they call it Marble League now. But then he kind of basically put a plea out on Twitter being like, I don't have a job anymore because of all of this. So he was like, I can't afford to do the Marble Olympics unless I get a sponsor. So like, I'm putting the call out now. If anyone can sponsor me, that'd be great. Like we're looking for like 3 or 4 different sponsors to like help support it. Basically, Cravendale, the milk company, got involved and they've sponsored a tournament called The Last Marble Standing. And there are two episodes up at the moment. So that's a whole thing. That's a whole event which has come through just one sponsor. So we don't know. I feel like they're paying quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Then Virgin Racing, so Formula One. Yeah.
The actual like.
Okay. Yeah. So they got in contact and sponsored him to do another season of Marbula One.
Yeah.
And he's got marbles for all of the different... so it's Marbula E, so it's the Formula E version.
Yeah, Marbula E, yeah.
And so that's great. And it's got all the real teams. It's got like Jaguar and Mercedes and all of that.
That's amazing.
It's awesome. And then so then I was watching an episode of John Oliver and he started talking about, I've checked out marble racing. It's really, really cool. Like it's an alternative to sport at the moment.
Yeah.
And so you know how... have you ever seen Last Week Tonight with John Oliver?
No.
At the end of his episodes, he normally does these big things. So either he like launches a book to take the piss out of someone or a website or T-shirts or something.
Yeah.
And basically because of Corona, they have like a 20 grand budget per show, but they're not spending it. So like in previous weeks, he's donated 20 grand to like different food banks and stuff like that. And this week, or like a couple of weeks ago, he was like, our entire budget for this week's episode is being donated to Jelly's Marble Runs in order to sponsor the entire Marble Olympics. So he only needed one sponsor because John Oliver did the whole thing. And it's really incredible.
Amazing. What a story.
It's yeah, right? It's
imagine doing that, like starting a YouTube channel where you just throw some marbles down a little sand course and now you're being given 20 grand to do a season of it.
But honestly, the Marble Olympics are incredible. Like, if you haven't got anything better to do and you're missing sport, it sounds ridiculous, but seriously, go and watch the Marble Olympic or Marble League 2019. That's the most recent one. It's incredible, man. Like, the variety of events, all of the events have commentary by a guy named Greg Woods, who is an incredible commentator. The crowd, they have a crowd each time, and in stop motion, they move the crowd so it looks like they're cheering and jumping and doing a Mexican wave.
That's crazy.
There's a stadium, there's an opening ceremony, there's a closing ceremony, there's flags and songs, and there's like the king of whatever country they're doing it in. So last year, the Oceanics, which are a team, so the whole competition took place in Oceania, and the king of the Oceania was leading the ceremony, and it's incredible, like so incredible.
This seems like a whole nother world to get into.
Yeah, they all have different names. Every single marble has a name.
Every single marble
has a name. There's beef between different marble teams.
It's weirdly competitive. I was watching an episode. I found myself actually wanting a marble to win a race, which I didn't think would happen. I think I just thought I'd turn off halfway through, like they're just marbles going down a track. But I think it was like an orange one. I was like, he better win.
Oh, you an O Ranger, are you? Oh, you're an O Ranger. Oh, you fuck. Of course you are.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, they're so high and mighty. Oh, we're the O Rangers. Oh, go Rangers. Yeah.
Just to be clear to our listeners, these are small marbles, which are different colours.
Yeah, but they're so arrogant. The way they go around the course, like...
They're all orange and they roll so... smooth. Whatever.
Well, so all of the teams have their own chants as well.
Oh,
you hear the crowd chanting, and so for the O Rangers, their chant is "Go Rangers," because that's fucking smart, isn't it? Fucking O Rangers, yeah. This is a call out.
The best, so.
Huh?
Well, you're the one who's singing their chant now, so who's the real winner?
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, go give it a watch. It is great. Watch the entirety of last year's competition. I may have spoiled it for you by telling you who won, but like
entirety of it.
Yeah, it's so there's playlists with all the individual events, but also he always uploads just one video with the entirety of the events back to back, and it's normally about an hour and a half long.
That's mad. There it is.
So good.
All the different ones. That's crazy.
Yeah, so if you go on playlists and then Marble League.
Yeah.
So Marble League 2019. Oh yeah, there's Winter Marble Olympics as well, which are all obviously winter themed.
Yeah. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say to this. These are literally just marbles going down a hill.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yes. So and then on his header, his banner, he has the schedule for when things are coming out. So June 18th is going to be the start of the Marble League 2020. Oh, and I totally forgot. There's also a website with merchandise. So you can get a hoodie or a hat or a poster for your team.
Can you buy your own marble?
I don't know, actually. No, you
Jenny's
can't.
Marbles Shop. Here we are.
Yeah. So, yeah, O-Rangers, like the twats they are.
Why are they... Oh, I don't
Jungle
understand.
Jumpers, the Limers, Chocolatiers, Crazy Cat's Eyes, Green Ducks, Hazers.
Got Galactic.
Yeah, Team Galactic, Jawbreakers, Cobalts, Pinkies.
This is crazy.
The Rojo Rollers, Team Momo. There was actually one year where Team Momo had 2 injuries in their team, so they nearly had to drop out.
How does a marble get an injury?
So their team nearly had to drop out, but then Team Primary also had injuries. So what they did is they combined themselves to be Team Momerry, which was okay, but what happened was they didn't really work well together as a team, so they didn't do very well that year. But the year after that, Team Primary did really well. Team Momo, not so much. But then halfway through, Team Momo fired their head coach and got a new one in, and then they started doing much better.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad they've done well for themselves, though.
So good. It's so good.
Who was it you support again?
Hazers.
Hazers. God damn it. Why am I even... Oh, God.
You can get a poster as well.
Yeah,
stickers.
I've got what's a vinyl decal? A decal?
Decal. I don't know actually. Isn't it just like a big thing you can stick on something? Like a big sticker, maybe?
Like a sticker, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Hazers.
Oh,
yeah, I'm looking at the merch here. Yeah, you can get a snapback, a sticker, a poster, a t-shirt, a hoodie, or a classic tee. I don't know what
you can't get them in like individual teams though.
What do you mean?
You can't get like t-shirts of individual teams, or can you?
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
I've only got like a 2019 one.
No, so if you go on the regular website on the main homepage,
I think I'm here. DFTBA.
No, Teespring.
Oh, there we go.
If you go onto the YouTube,
Teespring, there it is.
And then if you click on any team merch for anything,
so
let's say I want Jungle Jumper, you can select what you want.
Yeah, I got
but
it.
It's sick.
I got it.
You can get it on a thing, on like a hat.
On like a hat. Oh, the Hazers one isn't that good.
Excuse me.
It's just white. It's just a plain white t-shirt with a circle.
But the marbles look cool, and that's what's important.
Oh, they're all marble shaped. That makes a lot more sense. That's why they're all circle. I was looking at the vinyl decal ones, and they all had like different designs. It was crazy, but these are all just circles.
Yeah. Because they're all marbles.
They're all marbles. I want a marble. I miss marbles.
I don't know if I ever really played with marbles.
I miss Go-Go's. Did you ever play with Go-Go's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Go-Go's.
So yeah, there's when you were a child, there was just these weird niche games that everyone in your school used to play. It was that Go-Go's, Yu-Gi-Oh. I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day.
We didn't have Yu-Gi-Oh much. It was mostly Go-Go's Crazy Bones. That was our thing at school.
What a collection! I love
Jesus
collecting
Christ,
stuff.
we've been going for what, nearly half an hour already?
I'm at 32 minutes.
Jesus,
Yeah.
good job, team.
Hey,
Well, we've given a pretty comprehensive guide to lockdown here today.
we have. We've just rambled on about what we've been doing and stuff to watch if you definitely have free time.
Yeah, go look at some scanners. Scammers.
I've literally got Kit Boga lined up for as soon as we stop recording.
But yeah, go look at some scammers. Go watch Jelly's Marbles runs. June 18th. It's going to be the start of the Marble Olympics 2020.
Yeah.
Go support the Hazers, or if you're a loser, go support the O Rangers. I'm coming for you, O Rangers. That's what I want to say.
We'll end with that. Whoever the O-Rangers are, Elliot's coming for you, so watch out.
Yeah. On that note, I've been Elliot.
And I've been Thomas.
And we've been in your house, but not literally.
Not yet.
Thanks for listening. If you want to see what else we're up to, check us out on Instagram at Jesting Dog Productions.